BL is a global sensation loved by audiences everywhere, but did you know that the series was originally going to be quite different Blue's age? Initially, BL was meant to be much younger and smaller. This idea came from Joe Brumm, the creator of the series, in the debut pilot episode released in 2016. It's quite evident the episode features just 4 characters: Bandit, Bluey, Rusty, and Mackenzie. The scene opens with Bandit arriving at the park with Bluey, and right away we see he's using a stroller meant for very young children. From this, we can infer that Blue was probably around the same age as Muffin is today, around 3 or nearly 4 years old. Observing the second pilot episode and various moments throughout the series, we notice Blue's height changed over the years. Many other aspects of the world's most famous Blue pup evolved too, and you're about to see all of that. Intro music. Before we dive deeper into Blue's growth, let's talk about another cool change: the intro music. The production's musical prowess is indisputable, with some really cool tunes. Initially, the plan was to use a track by the band Custard at a slightly different tempo than what is used now, more rhythmic. Interestingly, this rock band had a member who now works on Bluey, David McCormack. He is none other than the original voice actor for Bandit, the protagonist's dad. It's unclear if this was intentional, but it's definitely a collaboration that worked out great. What's today, kiddo? It's the weekend that's right. As for the music, it was really cool, but I have to admit, I prefer the current version. If you're a fan of this amazing show, drop a #Bluey in the series title font. Examining the first opening sequence from 2016, we see another massive change compared to today's version. We're talking about the font of the series title, Blue's name. It used to have a more stretched and somewhat blocky appearance. The production team improved this aspect in the second pilot's opening in 2017, making Blue's brand more rounded and visually appealing. Yes, it was different from the version we know today. In the final version, the letters of Blue's name were even more rounded and adjusted, so they weren't uniform, a successful design tweak. Moreover, the final Y in her name was elongated, almost underlining the other letters. It's definitely better the way it is now. Opening animation. Regarding the first opening animation, the background was originally purple. The idea was for this to be the perpetual intro. However, in the second opening from 2017, there was a subtle change to a light blue background, similar to the current hue, but there was a tweak. The idea was to feature different kanji making an appearance. This concept was probably dropped because it was quite labor intensive. The final opening was modified to the one we all recognize, where the Healer family dances along to the music, each with unique steps, ending with just Bluey performing her signature pirouette. It's one of the most fun intros I've ever seen. Blue's design, when the intro still had a purple background in 2016, we can notice that Bluey looked a bit different from the Bluey we know today. Her muzzle was notably sharper, and she had a light blue spot at the base of her nose was a light brown color. Bluey spots on her head were to Bandit's, as if she were a clone of her father, and the tip of her tail was also blue, but a slightly lighter shade. Another detail on the protagonist that we can't overlook, which almost no one noticed, but we did. There were 6 round spots on the back of the young dog in the second pilot episode from 2017. It's evident that several things had changed with Bluey. Her navy blue spots on her head and tail tip became lighter, almost a soft purple. Her muzzle no longer had the predominant white spot at its base, and her nose turned to a dark blue. Similar to Bandit's, the shape of Blue's muzzle also became slightly rounded, enhancing the main character's appeal. Moreover, the number of small spots on her back was reduced to just 3. Truthfully, this version of Bluey closely resembles the one we see in current episodes, but still there are 2 small details that make her different. The shade of purple has become slightly lighter and more pleasant. Additionally, the spots on her back are still 3, but now they vary in size and shape, almost resembling Disney's Mickey Mouse symbol, with one head entertaining. If you agree, it makes perfect sense to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss our upcoming videos. Lollipop. Yeah, okay, Lee, this time BLS growth. As we mentioned at the start of this video, it's clear that Blue was much younger in the 2016 pilot episode than she is in the series today, where she is 7 years old. We estimate she was around the age Muffin is today, between 3 and 4 years old. Of course, being younger, she would have been shorter in both the second pilot episode of 2017 and the series that started into. May not have noticed, but the more observant on saw that she grew slightly taller, as can be seen easily in the episode Rain, the 18th of the 3rd season. When Blue walks beside Chili, her ears are at the height of the middle of Chili's eyes. But if we go back to seasons to the 8th overall episode of the show, we see that the protagonist was much smaller when seen alongside Bandit, who is nearly the same height as Chili. Interestingly, a few episodes earlier, in episode 13, Past the Parcel, we see Blue celebrate her 7th birthday, and the coolest part is that the series seems to really consider her growth, making her even taller and evolving and developing as a person, of course. In subsequent episodes, we see taller versions of Bluey, such as when she's a teenager at the end of the episode Camping, and now more recently at the end of the episode Surprise, where she is an adult with her own pup. This shows that the series is not static in time, and it continues to grow, along with its characters, which is pretty music, cool blues personality, as we've noted not once, but twice. The Bluey from the pilot episode is younger, at most 4 years old, the age of Muffin. We can see that this version of Bluey shares more traits with her cousin than just age. She's quite bossy, especially when she constantly asks her dad to push her higher, but that's somewhat normal and typical for young children who are dependent on their parents and believe that everything revolves around them, as it indeed does, since everyone who takes care of them is dedicated exclusively to them. As they grow, they receive less attention from their parents because they can go to the bathroom alone or feed themselves without help. In fact, children want to be more independent because of the nature of maturation, and that's exactly what we see happening with Bluey throughout the episodes. For instance, in the episode Sleepover with Cousin, we see a maturity leap in Bluey as she realizes she's responsible for helping Chili put Muffin to bed. In the episode The Sign, we see the young pup achieve her dream of sitting in the front seat of the car, signifying her growing maturity and responsibility. This maturation will continue throughout upcoming episodes and will witness more of BL's evolution as a protagonist. Which rules are we playing, BL? I left it up to Bingo to choose. Did you choose the BS? Everyone surely wants to watch more episodes showing a mature Bluey and perhaps even see her educating her own little pup. Maybe, well, even see Bluey doing the same thing Chili did, trying to get her baby walking as early as possible. Then perhaps well confirm once and for all if Mackenzie really is the father of the baby we're leaving too. Really cool videos now for you to continue enjoying quality content here with us. The